have in common, guys?
Hey, Tiana, they are talking about space.
They're talking about, hey, CC, good morning. Those that are just joining in, make sure that you're dropping me an emoji and showing me how you're feeling. All right, and also, if you look at the text features, I like how they give you the title, they make it boom and bright, but they also give you images and illustrations to go in it. We're going to take a look at the second article, though. I'm sorry, the first question under here. It says, which statement best describes a major difference between the text structures of the articles eating in space and farming in space? So what that question is saying is, you have these two articles. What's the big difference between the two? So take a minute and look at these four responses. I know you guys did it yesterday, and I'm going to show you how you can kind of skim to figure this one out. Does anybody want to give a go of it? State your name first and tell me what answer. Jocelyn? Okay, Jocelyn, what did you choose for number one?
I chose A.
A. In eating in space, contrast eating on Earth and space and in space, while farming in space, contrast growing up in space. Okay? Did anybody have a choice other than A for number one?
Could he do B?
B. Eating in space tells the process of eating a meal in space, while farming in space tells the problem and solution. Okay, any others? All right, so I'm going to go ahead and roll through it. The actual correct answer, it was B. Now, let me kind of give you a clue without spending time. If we were in class and spend a little more time in this section, there's other things I want to show you. If we look at the second passage, farming in space, look at the very first sentence. Jocelyn, read that first sentence out for farming in space. What does it say?
What will astronauts eat when they space?
Voyage.
It takes years or even decades.
Okay, so that very first sentence in that second passage, they are presenting a problem with you. You out in space, how you gonna eat? So that's a problem, right? The rest of the article gives you solutions for that problem. So this is one way that you can kind of pinpoint and see, the text structure, the way that this is organized is more problem and solution. For passage one, eating in space, we know that it's eating in space. It talks about the process of eating a meal. When we talk about the process, we're talking about the steps. Can anybody just kind of skim through and find me any of the clue words to deal with steps? Because that deals with sequence and chronology. When I skim, I'm not really reading. I'm just searching for clue words like first, then, next, finally, all of that. Before, any of those. Anybody see any of those clue words?
Ms. Ann?
Ms. Ann, which paragraph and what clue word?
In paragraph 3, it says next.
See next? Girl, I didn't even see that. In paragraph 3, great job. I love that y'all find stuff that I don't see. Guess what I saw in paragraph 3? First, y'all see that now? First, the astronaut select their meals. Next, they add water. Then, so great job. And look at that last sentence, y'all. Somebody else, Werner, read this last sentence. What does it say?
This process usually...
Yeah, so when we go back to our answer choices, B best fits because it says eating in space tells the process of eating a meal. Basically, like, how do you go about eating when you're in space because things are floating around? And the second passage, farming in space, tells more about here's a problem, and then it goes into how we're going to solve it. Let me just give y'all a quick little tidbit. Remember when we're in class, you have to remember, don't just read the passage one time and then bump and answer the questions. Don't do that. You're going to have to reference it more than one time. So keep that in mind, guys, okay? So you know I love y'all to give y'all a part A and a part B. So even if you missed question 1A, and solution. Okay? Which one of these sentences basically supports that statement? So you had all of these answer choices. Which one would fit? Let's see. Astronauts can eat everything from fresh fruit to pizza and pudding. Does that kind of talk about a sequence here? I hope y'all said no. That's just telling you the stuff you can eat. So I would eliminate that one. Look at the second choice. And Khadijah was real cool to point out that really I wanted you all to choose two, but the way that I set it up, that was on my error. You could only choose one. So when we're looking at this, I want you all to keep in mind there are actually two pieces of evidence that support why one passage is sequence and the other is problem and solution. At meal times, astronauts go into the galley, a small kitchen area with an oven and a water dispenser. Okay, how many think that this one matches what the text structure is? Okay, at meal times is a clue to let you know that this matches the text structure for eating in space. When we look at number C, it says, letter C, food containers must be attached to a tray. Okay, you just giving me information. You're not really telling me anything. That sentence doesn't support one being, that doesn't support eating in space being a sequence, so we can rule that out. The next sentence says, she has spent the last 10 years learning how to grow plants in space. So if you're thinking, okay, well, maybe it's interesting because I see a date, 10 years, but we remember that farming in space is not about sequence. Farming in space is about problem and solution. So I'm going to get rid of that. In 1997, while the Mir space station spun around Earth, astronaut Mike Fold peered at a sealed rope. And so on. Nope, that doesn't match either. Okay? And then finally, Dr. Musgrave suggested a solution, give the plants more light. Ding, 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 solution. You know, that goes with the text structure that talks about problem and solution. Okay? We're going to go ahead to question 2. Question 2 says, select one sentence from eating in space and one sentence from farming in space that provides the best evidence of each passage's text structure. Okay? Next, they add water to freeze-dried foods. If I use the word next, what type of text structure am I speaking of? Is that compare and contrast? Is that chronology? Is that problem and solution? Who's that?
Werner, order and sequence.
Yes, that's sequence. And we learned earlier that eating in space gives the steps in a process, which is chronology. Great job. So now we have to figure out which one of these other sentences go along with farming in space. Okay? So which one of these sentences goes along with problem and solution? I'll just point. First of all, if it says eating in space, we're not even looking at that. So we're going to rule out this one. This one.
I just realized.
This one. So we're really looking at the last 3 sentences. Which one of these last 3 sentences, guys, do you think deals with problem and solution? I even see a clue.
Werner. The third one.
The last one, now Dr. Musgrave. Yeah, great job. Now Dr. Musgrave was free to worry about the next problem. Great job. All right, and this was your last one. For number 3, it says, read this sentence. This sentence came directly from the passage, farming in space. What will astronauts eat when a space voyage takes years or even decades? That was the very first sentence. If I go back to the top, that was the very first sentence that Jocelyn read out to us earlier. Okay? So which one of these sentences, what is the best reason the author chose to begin the article with a question? So basically, why did they choose to begin this with a question and not just go into some other stuff. It says to present a puzzle in need of a solution, to show that astronauts are curious people, to describe how space voyages are a cause of worry, or to explain why space voyages are so difficult to plan. The correct answer you guys should have chosen was A. Because remember, if I said and I organize my writing with problem and solution, if I give you a problem, then guess what I'm going to want you to do? I'm going to want you to solve that problem. Okay? So this is the guided practice that you did. Some of you guys did really great. Others, you needed a little more help with it. And that's completely fine. That's really okay. All right? So if you have your cell phones, we're now going to practice what we learned on text structure in a Kahoot. All right? So go ahead and type in your code and your name. You got to go real quick. Go ahead and type that in.
Kahoot. Kahoot.
And if you don't have the app, don't worry about that. You just go to this right here.
Miss,
Yes.
when does Miss Baker comes on live?
Okay, I'll address it at the end of this session. Let's go ahead and finish this speaking session, okay?
Wait. Well, I mean, to
All right, Tanisha's in, Jocelyn's in, Jaden, Tracy, Sam, Werner, anybody else? Leanne, hey, Julia, hey, Paris. Miss you, Paris. Is there anybody else that's still logging in? If so, state your name before I start.
Paradise.
Okay, Paradise.
I'm still logging in. Miss Ann.
Okay, Miss Ann.
I'm in.
Okay, I'll wait another 10. Hey, Aisha, I'll wait another 10 seconds and then we're going to move forward. We don't have very much time. And if you're unable to get in, you can just kind of follow along. Okay?
Okay.
Y'all know how I'm going to count on my fingers like I used to in the classroom. Okay, so unfortunately, if you're not in, you just don't have to follow along with us. Good, Miss Ann was able to get in. All right, very nice. Okay.
Text structure.
All right, here's question 1. First, next, last, then, before are all examples that can be found in what type of text structure? Look at y'all getting them in. All right, great job. Remember, chronological order, that's steps in the process. Okay, good job. Description, that's not one that we went over. Remember, description is when you are describing, painting a visual picture. Let's go to the next. All right, y'all know me, Zambi on it. What type of text structure is this an example of? It's your backyard views will be different. Testing both help water and both could be expression on a hot day. But the small inflated is 6 inches deep. The rectangular is much deeper. Better place for growth and relaxing. What text structure is that, y'all? I think your answers. It's what for you. Y'all got this. Compare and contrast. Remember, I'm talking about how they are.